You're tuning in to Season 7 of Inclusion Revolution Radio, sponsored by Special Olympics founding partner, the Coca-Cola Company. I'm your host, Novie Craven, and I'm coming to you from the studio of Podville Media, our podcast production host. We're honored to be joined today by Mary Davis, the CEO of Special Olympics International, a long-life advocate for inclusion, dignity, and opportunity for people with intellectual disabilities. Mary's journey with Special Olympics began in Ireland, where she played a leading role in growing the movement before serving as the CEO of the 2003 Special Olympics World Summer Games in Dublin, the first games held outside of North America and one of the most impactful in the organization's history. Since becoming the CEO of Special Olympics International, she has expanded its reach and deepened its work in health, education, and sports and leadership. Known for her unwavering commitment for athletes-centered leadership and global inclusion, Mary has been recognized around the world, including becoming appointed to the Council of State by the President of Ireland and named one of the Forbes 50 most powerful women in international sports. As she prepares to step down from her role in the coming year, we've taken this opportunity to reflect on her extraordinary legacy and to celebrate the profound impact she has made across the Special Olympics movement. Before we welcome Mary to the show, we have special guests who would like to share a message for our wonderful leader.
Dear Mary Davis, for starters, happy retirement. Yay! You ran the race so well. Just like athletes, you inspired. Mary showed me how to be compassionate and kind, and how to really listen to others.
Mary inspired me and supported me in my athlete leadership journey by being a positive role model to Special Olympics female athletes and encouraging me to get involved and stay in sports and leadership roles at all levels of the Special Olympics organisation.
Even though I believe my work at Special Olympics is important, Mary showed me that it won't have impact unless if it made it joyful and fun. She brought that same joy to the Special Olympics movement under her leadership. It grew in numbers, but the heart of the Special Olympics movement grew even more.
Mary's legacy of being an athlete-led organisation will mean that athlete leaders will continue to be involved in meaningful roles throughout all parts of the Special Olympics movement.
I had the pleasure of meeting Mary Davis at the Summer World Games in Abu Dhabi in 2019. Even though she was very impressive because of her accomplishments and her position at Special Olympics International, she still had time for us and was very welcoming. That really came through when Mary and I were invited to New York to make a presentation on inclusion to a Special Olympics partner. I had struggled to put together an outline and didn't want to miss any points. When Mary and I met to prepare, she grabbed the outline and put it away and told me, just be myself and tell my story. We had a blast.
My favourite memory with Mary was back in 2016 when I first met her. She gave me lots of advice and guidance on how I could grow and develop as an athlete leader and as a person. I was only 18 years old, but Mary saw the potential in me that I didn't even know that I had yet. So without Mary, I don't think I'd be where I am today.
She believed in the full potential of everyone. I want to be like her.
I'd like to say a big thank you, Mary, for all your hard work, your commitment and dedication to Special Olympics. Thank you for your guidance, your friendship, and for positively impacting me and my life. I just wanted to finish up by saying, Mary, I wish you all the best in the future. Enjoy your retirement, and I hope to see you again soon.
I value your friendship, and you'll always be dear to my heart, and wishing you the very best. Good luck, Mary Davis.
Wow. That brought tears to my eyes.
Right,
I'll do the podcast now after that. I need a tissue, actually.
We'll get you one.
They're two of my best friends, Hannah and Kira. So to hear their words were extraordinarily special for me, for sure. Thank you.
I'm just like, wow. Definitely, you know. And like for them to say that as well, but also for me, you know, doing this podcast with you, whatever, definitely very, I felt grateful that you and me were are going to be able to do this podcast, but also, for all the, hard work you put into it. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here without you if you know, and definitely you're one amazing person to not only be the CEO of Special Olympics, but also to know, you know, definitely you mean so much to me, and definitely gonna miss working alongside you, but definitely I know you are going to be right there by my side when I do everything.
Yes, indeed. You're making me very emotional by all these beautiful words.
We're thrilled to have you here, Mary. Welcome to Inclusion Revolution Radio.
Thank you, Novie. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. And it's about time that you invited me on this podcast. I mean, you're getting all these famous people on, and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if I'll ever be invited.
No, of course you
that.
You definitely need to be. Definitely.
So I'm thrilled.
I was really pushing you.
I'm thrilled.
Mary, you've been with Special Olympics since 1978. Long before you became CEO, what pulled you into this work, and what has kept you involved in the movement?
Well, thank you, Novie, for that question. I started my career as a teacher, so I worked in a special school and on the north side of Dublin, and I realised then how important sport was in the lives of the students that I was teaching. We did a lot of sport in the school and in the centres around the school as well. And I saw the value of it. And then our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, of course, who inspires everybody.
Right.
She came to Ireland. She came to that school and to start Special Olympics in Ireland, because I know that she was travelling around the world, getting programmes interested after founding Special Olympics in 1968. So it was easy for me to sign up and to become a volunteer while I continued to teach, because I saw the value of sport and the power of sport for the students and for people with intellectual disability.
Since becoming CEO in 2016, how have you navigated global challenges while leading an organization that meant to bring people together?
Well, there's been a fair share of challenges, no doubt. There's been a lot of joys as well, though. I don't want to miss out on saying that. Yeah. But yes, there's been some challenges along the way. Obviously, COVID was a big challenge for all of us to accept and to work through. And then, of course, the geopolitical situation around the world and, you know, some of the wars that seem to be constantly popping up. We're always creating some challenges for our programs, but I very much took and continue to take a leaf from the athlete's book to remain resilient, to remain strong, to remain courageous, and to work hard. And I've learned that all my life from being around Special Olympics athletes and from working in the movement. So that sort of urged me on to overcome all obstacles, not to see challenges as something to shy away from, but to see challenges as something to face head on and to overcome.
I love that answer. What one leadership decision you made that was incredibly hard but absolutely necessary?
The hardest leadership decision I made was to close down our in-person operations when COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
I just found that incredibly difficult. And I can remember well when we decided that that was necessary and we had to take that decision, and we closed the office first. And then I think I sat on Zoom for about 2 to 3 weeks in my apartment here in DC, just figuring out with everybody what we were going to do, how we were going to provide a service, given that everything we did was in person, all our training, all our coaching, all our competitions, they'd all been in person. And now how are we going to manage that? And our financial situation, what was going to happen there as well. So there were so many things to think about and to sift through and to work through. But I'm a great believer in collaboration and teamwork. And I worked closely with my senior team, who were amazing people during that time. And together we managed to come up with a plan. We pivoted very quickly to using Zoom, and we started to provide training opportunities through Zoom for our athletes. We also stayed connected with the entire movement by deciding to have global webinars once a month. And I think everybody valued that. I certainly valued the connection that, I could still be very close to all of our programs around the world and all of our teams. And that helped enormously. But yeah, it was a challenging time. And I never thought then, when we started to do all that it was going to last for the best part of 2 years, which again created challenges for us as well in many other ways, in terms of competitions that we were organising, etc.
What are some of the seeds you've planted at Special Olympics that you hope will continue to grow long after you step away?
Okay, well, one of the things that I have a deep love and a deep interest and a deep connection to is local programs and local program development. And I've done a lot of work in that space with my colleague Emily, with our head of the regions, John Dow, and with the regional presidents and managing directors and their teams. And there's still, despite all we've done, there's still a lot of work to be done. So I would like to see that work continued, so that we're bringing our programming as close as we possibly can to every athlete that's involved, but to the athletes that we yet haven't discovered or haven't discovered Special Olympics, and to invite them in. So that's one of the things. I mean, one of the other things that we've begun to roll out is a global registration program. And I've always wanted this, even before I became the CEO of Special Olympics. I remember in 2010, when the entire movement gathered in Morocco for a conference, we talked about one of the big challenges was the fact that we didn't have a global registration program. And if we had had that global database when COVID happened, we wouldn't have lost the number of athletes that we lost, because we would have known where they were. We could have stayed connected to them. So I really hope and pray, and I'm going to be watching closely to ensure that that program continues to be rolled out around the world. There's lots and lots of things that I've been involved in that I want to see continued. I love the motor activities program. I facilitated the hiring of the first staff member in the motor activities program, and also I have a passion for the young athletes program, as well as all of the other sports and activities that go on. But those two I would have a particular interest in seeing grow and develop over the years. The young athlete program, such a great start in an athlete's life. And now we have the app that informs parents and families and keeps them connected as well. So I just hope that goes from strength to strength.
Yeah, because young athletes definitely, when we do Special Olympics, I always say when the young athletes, we start with young athletes. I've been to one young athlete from Special Olympics DC, and the young athletes there were just mind blowing. This one kid said to me, "Watch me shoot a 3-pointer." I said, "Okay." Nothing but net. I said, from very far away. I was like, that's how how excited they were, because they could see, like they wanted me to see out what they could do. And when you start from a young age like that, they go all the way up, definitely to a college level. It's like, wow, because people with intellectual abilities do not sometimes don't get to get out and do stuff, like drive a car, get a driver's license or anything, or go to work. They don't. Some of them nonverbal, but some of us can do stuff like this. So, definitely being able to understand how important it is for us to show the world what we can do.
Absolutely.
Even though we have an intellectual disability, we would like the world to know that we still can do things.
Sure, and it gives athletes such a great start in life, and they learn the skills, and they can develop and grow, and it gives them a great love of movement at a very young age, and allows them then to continue to grow and develop as they are doing indeed, and then entering into the more serious training in sports and the competition as well. So
As a founding partner of Special Olympics, the Coca-Cola Company has played a crucial part in our movement. Thanks to their support, the limited potential of individuals with intellectual disabilities has reached the global stage. Is there a World Games that holds a special place in your heart?
Well, before I answer that question, I just want to agree with you about Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola are an amazing partner. And I know they're partnering here on your Inclusion Revolution radio as well, which is fantastic. And they've been a partner of ours since the founding of Special Olympics, and they've stayed with us. It's not just their funding, but the marketing opportunities that they offer us as well, the volunteering opportunities around the world. In many of our Coca-Cola representatives in other countries are now joining the boards of Special Olympics in countries in Africa, etc. And that's really helping the movement in so many different ways. Now back to your question, if I can remember, it was if there was a games that stood out over and above another. I would say, well, I've enjoyed attending all of the games that I've been to, and I've been to the majority of games since I started going to the first World Games in 1979 in Brockport. But one that stands out particularly for me was in 1987, I think, in South Bend in Indiana. And I was still a volunteer with Special Olympics and in my teaching job, but I was coaching a gymnastics team. And members of that team had qualified to go to the games, and I was absolutely thrilled. It was the first time that I had some gymnasts from my club that had qualified for the games. So you can imagine my excitement going to those games. And one of my athletes, Rita Lawler, won the all-around medal in gymnastics for that, gold medal. I never will forget the joy and the pleasure that gave me to see somebody who had overcome so many challenges in her life had become such a great gymnast, and now was reaping the reward by getting an all-around. And it's not easy to get an all-around in this competition, and she managed to do it. So great celebrations, great excitement when we got back from those games.
Yes.
And I suppose the other games for me had to be the 2003 games in Ireland. I know you mentioned it in your introduction that I was the CEO of those games, but the way that those games transformed an entire nation from the president of the country, Mary McAleese, right to local communities right across the island of Ireland, north and south, coming together and doing everything they could to ensure that the games would be something very special for all of our guests and all of our athletes coming, and that it would give the country a great deal of pride as well.
Special Olympics has grown extraordinarily over the years. Is there a moment where you knew this movement was becoming bigger than anyone could ever imagine?
Well, I could see the importance of the organization and how valuable it was. So I knew that it would go from strength to strength practically from the start, because I know what the power of sport can do for everybody.
Right.
But I remember attending obviously I've been very involved as a volunteer with the program in Ireland. And then I remember attending the 1983 games in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. And when I saw those games, now it wasn't just Ireland I was seeing a whole world come together and participate. And I remember sitting in the stadium at that opening ceremony where there were celebrities and lots of family members and thousands of volunteers seemed to be around, and thinking, this is something that's going to grow and grow and grow. And of course, we have our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, to thank for that, because nothing would stop her. She was unstoppable, unflappable, and unstoppable.
She would not put her foot down for Rosemary. I mean, I'm glad she put her foot down for Rosemary, because if she hadn't put her foot down for Rosemary, Special Olympics would probably never happen.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Definitely, being back when I was in high school, we didn't have Special Olympics back when I was in high school, and when I first joined Special Olympics TC, they were open arms and definitely be able to say, I didn't know anything about the sport bocce.
Yeah.
So then, 2018, I went to USA Games Seattle and played bocce, but it was just amazing because they were like, you don't know nothing about the sport bocce? No, I didn't know. Now I'm practically a pro at bocce. So definitely,
there you go.
Right.
And she traveled the world to promote Special Olympics. I told you she came to Ireland to start it, but she didn't just come to Ireland. She went all over the world to start Special Olympics.
Right.
And then she just pounded and pounded into all of us the importance of training, of coaching, and she visited so many coaching events. I remember being on the sports rules committee at one stage, and she would come in there and tell us, what the rules should be or what they shouldn't be. And she was just an enormous driving force and an amazing role model for me and for many others around the world.
Right.
I don't think the world fully understands the talents and abilities of the athletes, huge talent that exists.
Right.
We need to show that better. And the other thing I think we need to show in our storytelling is the impact that Special Olympics has on everybody else.
Exactly.
So it's not what we can do for the athletes, but what the athletes does for us, how it changes something deep inside of us. I witnessed that firsthand.
Right.
So I feel like that's something that we need to to teach the rest of the world. And I always say the best teachers are Special Olympics athletes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. I mean, definitely, because we have every athlete you run. I have a lot of friends that are athletes. Everyone has a different story, and definitely my story can be different from someone else's, and definitely having that impact that I know there's a Special Olympics out there, but also people need to understand that Special Olympics is not Paralympics. I'm not taking first aid when I talk about this. They compare it to Paralympics. It's not. One thing is different, that we have unified partners. I don't know what about Paralympics. I don't know if they have unified partners.
Yeah, and we're grassroots. Right. I think that's the big thing. We're community based.
Right.
We're not about the best.
Correct.
We're about being the best that you can be.
Correct.
And that's a fundamental difference between the Olympics, the Paralympics, and Special Olympics.
Right.
Special Olympics encourages our athletes to be the very best that they can be.
Right.
It encourages everybody. That's involved in Special Olympics, and to bring out the best in yourselves by being the best that you can be. Whereas the Olympics are for the best, the fastest, the greatest.
Right.
We're year round. We're in communities all over. There's competitions every couple of minutes going on around the world.
Right. I have some friends that don't know how to play basketball. That we do not care if you don't know how to play basketball. Us the athletes will teach you how to play basketball. If you don't play
come
soccer,
join us.
Come join us. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to play the sport. And I think this is a lot, because then when they find out that we don't know how to play the sport, they say, "Will you teach me?" And of course, what's the first answer I said? Of course, I will teach you how to play what sport you don't know.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Definitely, because we're over. And sometimes they get, they come volunteer, and I said, "Do you want to come back?" They said, "Okay, well, I'll be back next week." That's how much the movement has really grown for me to see that, because people are like, "Oh, you do Special Olympics, that's great." I say, but you don't understand the backstory of Special Olympics.
Exactly.
You know that I'm a part of Special Olympics, but you don't know the backstory of Special Olympics. And when I tell them the backstory, they're like, "Oh, that's what Special Olympics is all about?" I said, "Yes." And they're like, they're sometimes taken back.
Yeah. And very few people either recognize how broad Special Olympics is. That, yes, it's a sports training and competition program, but we have the largest health program in the world. In the world, we have the largest.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
We have a leadership program. So, we've got all these, the Unified Schools program that you mentioned earlier as well. How much that teaches young people, young students to understand difference and to be more inclusive.
Definitely says a thing good about the unified part, because I see sometimes when Chris and them go to these schools, they have the unified banners. The schools get recognized, and definitely that does a lot, because they get the whole school engaged.
Yeah,
it's really good, because experience of when you're in school, you just do your homework and everything. But when you do the unified schools part, you have the whole entire school engagement.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've been to some of those schools, and the whole school engagement and the rallies that they do are just so fantastic.
Right. And then when you leave, it's like, I want to come back to another one like this.
Yeah.
How can listeners support the movement as it continues to grow? And what are your hopes and dreams for the future of Special Olympics?
Well, the first thing I would say is come join us.
Right.
Just be part of Special Olympics. Get involved in one way or another. There's so many different ways that people get involved, and there's so many volunteering opportunities where people can come and help, whether it's in local clubs, local opportunities, at games. There's various different jobs to be done at games. We're always looking for volunteers. So really, I would say I would invite people that aren't involved in the movement to come and join us and come see for yourself. And I can guarantee that by joining the movement, you will be changed. You will become a different person. I did, I think most people I speak to in my career have said the enormous difference that it has made and the impact on their lives.
Because I have some colleagues that don't no longer work here, but that we're still
Yeah.
connected. We're still friends, and definitely, even though they left the movement, we're still friends and everything. And definitely, when they say they like, I ask them when if they leave, they want to they can still continue to support Special Olympics. And they always say, "Of course we will."
Yeah.
And I said, because that's growing more friendship, but also growing the movement, because some of their friends don't know about Special Olympics. They told them how Special Olympics changed their lives, and then some of their friends reach out to me, and they say, how can we get involved? And definitely I say, come volunteer, come do whatever, do this, that, the other. And
Special Olympics never leaves you.
Right.
Never leaves you.
Right.
And the vision and what the athletes do, their performance and everything, that never leaves you. Right. So I think, most people that move on, say, from the organization, stay connected in so many different ways.
What is next for you, Mary? How do you plan to spend your time after this era comes to a close?
Well, that this era might come to a close, but as I said, Special Olympics is not. I'm not going to leave Special Olympics, and it's not going to leave me.
Absolutely.
Yes, I won't be in the role of CEO anymore, but I will go back to my roots and to where I started, to being a volunteer with Special Olympics. But I will also reconnect with my family, because even when my family were younger, and now I've got 6 grandchildren.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't have as much time to spend with them as I would have liked, because Special Olympics is such an engaging program, and there's always more and more and more and more to do in Special Olympics. So you're driven by that, and sometimes to the neglect of my own family. So it's payback time, Novie.
If you could leave one final message to every athlete and volunteer, staff member, and supporter around the world, what would it be?
I would say keep going, keep up your energy.
Thank you.
Stay involved, stay connected. Continue to, for athletes particularly, continue to teach the world what you know best.
Of course.
How to be courageous, how to be resilient, how to be strong, how to overcome all challenges, all obstacles, and how to be the best that you can be.
Don't you worry. I will do all of those. Don't you worry.
Hope so. I hope so.
Mary, what does inclusion mean to you?
Inclusion means respect. It means having dignity. I think it also means putting in place, ensuring that we put in place all the supports that are needed, so that every person, no matter who you are, can participate fully in their community and in activities that they wish to be involved with.
Mary, thank you for your extraordinary leadership, your continued belief in the power of inclusion, and the legacy you're leaving behind. You changed lives, and this movement is stronger because of you. To our listeners, if you've been inspired today, take the next step. Volunteer, advocate, include. That's how you stand beside trailblazers like Mary Davis. That's how you keep the vision alive. A big thank you to our founding partners, the Coca-Cola Company, for sponsoring this episode, and for the continued commitment of Special Olympics and athletes of all abilities. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe to Inclusion Revolution Radio and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Special Olympics. We'll see you next time for more incredible stories that celebrate community empowerment and inclusion.